Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmasters club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has a virtual hand raised so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster of the day, who will lead our meeting, is Toastmaster Buhari Zayyad. Toastmaster Buhari holds a bachelor's degree in economics. He is a certified agricultural financier, and Buhari is a passionate Toastmaster. He has served as a Vice President Education and President at the Gemstone Toastmasters Club. He was awarded the most outstanding Vice President Education and President at Gemstone by his director, Director Salou. There is so much more I can say about our Toastmaster of the day. However, I will rest it here for now. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, please help me to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Buhari.
Thank you most kindly, Toastmaster Nicole, for the energetic opening of today's meeting. As a global club that we are, let me start by saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're joining us, the world. A special greetings also to our guests attending our meeting for the first time, or what we can say, returning guests for the second time. It is indeed our honor and pleasure to have you today with us in this meeting. It promises to be very educating, exciting, latent, and of course, a lot of knowledge, stories to be gotten out of this meeting. Our guests come from different parts of the world, just like our members who are self-directed leaders. As self-directed leaders, we acknowledge the presence of all the guests that attend our meeting, because it is through that attendance that we get to share our impact, our knowledge, and our leadership with you. Joining this meeting today would surely be a pinnacle in your experience and as you sit during this weekend. After today's meeting, one of the actionable things you'll be doing, pause to write on your journal that you've been to a Toastmasters meeting at Leadership Speak, where we're all self-directed leaders. Today's meeting, of course, has a lot from educational speech to speeches, and of course, the bedrock of what we do here, evaluation. Wouldn't you rather continue coming to be part of this outstanding club and meetings? The answer should, of course, be yes, because I believe it's a rhetorical question. for us to keep in touch and keep impacting on you, as it is our own impact that we have in the world community. The Zoom master is going to drop a guest book in the chat. Why not put your name and details inside? And so we'll continue to be in touch. You would be aware of all our activities, and we would be so happy and excited to welcome you to the family of Leadership Spirit. So please, Zoom master, help us with the guest book link. We have our guests. Sign in to greatness. Sign in to growth and perseverance. May we have the guest book in the chat, please? Oh, yes. We also have the agenda in the chat. You are free to download and see the series of itinerary that we have for today's meeting. Please, Zoom Master, can we have the guest book link in the chat box?
Have it.
Thank you. While that is done, today's meeting is theme is the heart of leadership in action. We have the guest book already in the chat. Oh, yes. All right. While we'll delve into today's meeting's theme, the heart of leadership, passion in action. Have you ever found yourself in a situation working with a leader in a team, or working with a team member who is compassionate? Let me borrow from the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson that said, the purpose of life is not to be happy alone. It is to be useful, to be honorable, and to be compassionate. Not only that, have it to make some difference that you have lived and have lived well. Compassionate leadership focuses on understanding and supporting your team members, which has been shown to enhance loyalty and overall performance of a team. Researchers have indicated that leaders who exhibit compassion create a positive working culture that inspires innovation and collaboration. For instance, a neuroimaging studies revealed that people respond more favorably to compassionate leaders, resulting to lower emotional exhaustion and absenteeism. You might ask, compassionate leadership, the heart of leadership, not the heart, of course, there won't be emotion, there won't be human rates, and as such, compassion, the background of what the is. By exhibiting compassionate leadership, dear guests, dear Toastmasters, you tend to build trust. By building trust within your team, it enables your members to have a session and collaboration in whatever they do. They do it efficiently. Compassionate leadership also enhances engagement. For in engagement, you have your team members trusting you and they feel they're the priority. They're the major variable. Wherever you see compassionate leadership, their guests, Toastmasters, you see positive working culture. A culture which is rooted in compassion will encourage open communication and emotional safety. In this world of ours, compassionate leadership is indeed leadership. Finally, compassionate leadership creates resilience during crisis, during challenging times, such as economic downtimes, health crisis that we had in the year 2020 during the COVID-19. The case study of Toastmasters International, my dear guests and Toastmasters, has really embodied the testament of how compassion needs leadership is done. We had our leaders from across the world sending communication to empathize, to sympathize, to show care, genuine care to the members, like myself and you, dear Toastmasters. And maybe for the guests might have come across Toastmasters like myself who had shown them compassion, because in Toastmasters International, we learn the art of leadership. We learn the art of public speaking. And as the Leadership Speak members we are self-directed leaders. You might ask, compassionate leadership, if I am at the receiving end, it's I have. To become one, what should I do? I have embodied compassionate leadership. Self-directed leaders like ourselves in Leadership Speak should engage the following practices. 1, active. Leaders must prioritize listening to their team members over speaking. You have to be intentional and you have to be present while listening to really hear what is being said. Secondly, we have to embody emotional intelligence. For in emotional intelligence, we tend to manage the feelings of ourselves and others, their guests and Toastmasters. As a compassionate leader, it is also important for you to have continuous learning into what you do as you endeavor. For it is by continuous learning that you sharpen your skills, enable your team reach epic of excellence. Empathy is another thing that you take. Finally, you have to take action. Be vulnerable, you have to be committed, and you have to be intentional. Compassionate leadership is not just a trend, necessary approach for modern organizations and teams to achieve long-term success and goals. By focusing on the well-being of our team members, can cultivate an environment that promotes collaboration, innovation, and resilience. I will leave you with the words of Conflict that said, the heart like a garden, it can grow compassion, fear, resentment, or love. Dear Toastmasters and guests, what will you plant in your heart? Thank you so much. And with this little introduction of mine, we delve into the business of the day. We are going to start to the theme of today's meeting. Dear guests, it's also a reminder for you to continue with this great community of ours. The guest book and the link of the guest book in the chat box. Read and in touch. The next item is going to be a toast to today's theme of the meeting. And it's going to be delivered by none other than Toastmaster Iris. Toastmaster Iris, Zoom Master, can we have him spotlighted? Go ahead, give us a toast. The team.
Today we gather to celebrate not just our achievements as leaders, but the heart that drives us. An unwavering passion that inspires every single one of us here today. fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. Leadership is not just about directing, managing our people. Leadership is about inspiring to a purpose through passion. When leaders infuse their actions with a heartfelt dedication, they ignite a spark on the people around them, creating a ripple effect of motivation and innovation. True leaders understand that passion fuels resilience, enabling our people to overcome challenges, difficulties, setbacks along the way to success, and thus achieve their goals. It is this heartfelt commitment that transforms our visions into reality, building a legacy of success year after year, year after year. As we raise our glasses, let's honor our club leaders and our guests, those who embody the heart of leadership with a purpose and make a lasting impact on their communities, their churches, their organizations, and their homes. To leadership that inspires, to that passion that drives us forward, cheers to a brighter future together. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Back to yourself, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Dear guests, Toastmasters, this has been a toast to today's meeting. We could feel the energy. We could feel what Toastmaster Aries has done. And of course, as compassionate leaders that we are at Leadership, dear guests, Toastmasters, we work as a team. And with me today, we have a number of team players that will help us have an excellent meeting today that will stand the time. With me is Toastmaster Gilda, who would serve as the timer for today's meeting. Toastmaster Gilda, please come forward and inform us what your role encompasses. Thank you. Zoom Master?
Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Buhari. My name is Gilda Schla, the timer for today's meeting. I will be timing every speaker and post the time in the chat box after every session. I will flash the colors green and yellow and red to alert all the speakers be aware of their timing. And let me flash these colors. This is the green, the yellow, and the red. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gilda, for that concise explanation of what your role entails for today's meeting. Remember, the heart, compassion, action. The next role player is going to be the grammarian today, and with us today is Toastmaster Nokawi. Toastmaster Nokawi is Master. Can we highlight Toastmaster Nokawi? Go ahead. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers. Listen carefully to their language usage. I'll take notes of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. For this meeting, the word of the day is considerate. This is an adjective, and its meaning is to carefully not to inconvenience or harm others. For example, when you use it in a sentence, she was unfailingly kind and considerate. And the other example would be, our president is always considerate when dealing with the members. Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nokawe, our grammarian for today. Dear guests and Toastmasters, as you've heard, would have our timer, of course, raising her hand to the left. This is for the speakers to be able to cite her when the presentation has been made. The grammarian is here with the word of the day, and the word of the day for today is considerate.
Mr. Toastmaster, just a second. Your speaker is trying to use this the slide, and if you can stop doing that until you call her and when she's about to speak. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Braham. So, like I said, considerate is the word of the day. For we believe for you to be a compassionate leader, dear guests and Toastmasters, you have to be considerate. So incorporating the word of the day into your speech will show the flexibility of how you are as a speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, for today, we have the educational speaker.
So let's see. Zahra, can you wait until you are called to speak? Then you can start the slideshow, all right?
The slideshow, yes.
Okay, thanks, Zahra.
Okay, thank you, Zahra. And that's what we do in leadership. Thank you. So next, the item on the agenda will be our education speaker, who would be speaking on the theme of today's meeting. Trust me, by the time she's done, you would have all it takes to know how to be a compassionate leader. Before she comes on, our speaker, educational speaker for today is Toastmaster Zahra. Can we spotlight her? But before she speaks, I would call on her evaluator to give us the objective of what her speech encompasses. I would calling on Toastmaster Bindu to give what the speech objectives is. Over to you, Toastmaster Bindu.
Thank you very much, Buhari, Toastmaster of the Day. And good evening from this part of the world. I'm Toastmaster Bindu. My speaker, educational speaker, Zahra, is going to speak on the pathway of motivational strategies. Prepare to speak professionally. That is a project. And the objective is to present a keynote style speech exemplifying a professional level speaker's point of view. All the best to my speaker, Zahra. Over to you, Buhari.
Thank you so much, our most considerate evaluator for our educational speaker. Before I call on our speaker, let me read a short bio of her introduction. She is an educator who lived and worked in Malaysia and Singapore for 15 years. She's living and doing her research project in Istanbul, Turkey now. To make a difference, she started honing her new skills in Toastmasters international clubs as transformative platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, I introduce to you our education team, Toastmaster Zahra. Toastmaster Zahra, the heart of leadership, compassionate in action. The heart of leadership, compassionate in action. Toastmaster Zahra, over to you.
Thank you very much. Let me share my Can you hear me loud and clear?
Oh yes, loud and clear, Toastmaster Zahra. Go ahead.
Thank you. Love and compassion are necessities. They are not luxuries. Without them, a human being cannot survive. Dalai Lama. Today's theme is all about compassion. Compassion means recognizing other people's suffering, caring deeply, and take proper action to help. Please close your eyes for a few seconds. Imagine the workplace where one is understood, valued, motivated, inspired. How do you feel? If you were in such a, let's say, workplace, how would you feel? Please write in the chat box, and I'm going to see how you are going to respond me. Tell me about your feeling in such a situation. Let me see. So, anybody is writing? Inspired, motivated, thank you, fantastic, great, enthusiastic, no doubt, no doubt. This is the platform that motivates all of them. "16 years ago, before I leave my home country, I witnessed how toxic leaders can create the culture of fear. Oh yeah, I was fearful. I was frightened, anxious about humiliation, job loss. Yeah, I was too frustrated. But after a few years, I made the hardest decision in my life to say goodbye to everything, to my well-paid job, to my social status, and my loved ones, and left to create a better life. With that unpleasant experiences, my perspective had formed before I joined international marketplace. I began my research career in an R&D department of a mid-sized educational company. Mary, who became later a friend of mine, was marketing executive. Everybody said she had been marvelous, known for her creativity. However, her performance recently was shocked everyone. The motion of a loved one's illness cast sorrowful over her life and spirit. It was just like a stormy sea, and that was the time all those deadlines slipped through her fingers. David, her new manager, noticed the change and understand that is the time to reach out to her. So he invited her to his office. Later, Mary explained to us how David approached to her problem. His genuine concern melted away her hesitation, so she found herself pouring out her heart. David was resonated with the sorrow in her voice and did something amazingly to uplift Mary by saying, Mary, it's okay to be overwhelmed, but it's not okay to stay in this condition for long, because your well-being is what matters more. Mary was crying when she's explaining all this to us and said that she would have been devastated if David hadn't been so compassionate. David also used compassion in action in order to make things somehow better. He promised to develop a flexible schedule which allowed her to cover her workload and reach out to her problem. Also delegated her task to the members of the team in order to be supporting. Yeah, he created a supporting network around her at the time of her trouble. Wow. I cannot forget that scene. When we see that Mary started to bloom again, her creativity, awesome in her campaign, brought a success to the company. Yay! Everybody was inspired and happy. The news and story of David spread through the company. Everybody was empowered to contribute because what David did was to create the culture of trust. What about me? What was my takeaway? Well, to tell you the truth, for me it was transformative. Just like trees shedding their leaves in autumn, all those unpleasant, negative, distrust, stress, remnants fall away from my mindset, my feeling, my heart, and my beliefs. So I owe him a lot. This story has a very profound truth in it. At the heart of leadership lies unwavering commitment to put compassion into action and try to motivate and inspire those around us. Let's see, what do we have here? If it works. Yeah. What do compassionate leaders do? Actually, they prioritize kindness, empathy, and understanding into their leadership. They recognize the importance of emotional intelligence. So they tried to create an inclusive and supportive environment where everybody can thrive, personally and emotionally and professionally. So we can say compassionate leaders are beyond traditional management because they are transformative and they create the ripple effect that can touch everybody surrounded them positively. So here are just some key characteristics of compassionate leadership. There are very many, but I choose just 4 of them. Active listening. To make it more tangible, I'll bring David to our story again. David listened to Mary attentively, sought to understand her carefully, put himself into her shoes, and tried to respond with care. Number 2, supportive action. Oh yeah, we noticed there was too much support from David. He tried to just support him not only in her personal life but also in her professional life by managing to have a flexible schedule for her personal life and delegating the task to other members of the meeting in order to be helped if they are willing. Number 3, open communication. David tried to open dialogue, create an open and safe space for Mary to share her thoughts and feelings and concern without fear of being judged. Emotional intelligence. Our Toastmaster of the day also talk about emotional intelligence. And later on you see that how important it is. David had very high level of emotional intelligence because he was able not only to understand his own emotions, but also those of Mary's. That's why he was able to give a proper feedback. Wow, this photo was taken in October 2024. What about leadership? What about leadership speak? Here, what makes it different from other clubs? We, self-directed leaders, practice compassion in our action through active listening, emotional intelligence, and critical thinking. We understand that critical thinking is an ongoing process and it needs continuous learning, curiosity, and personal growth. The goal is not actually because it is important for us to understand we need a prevalent empathy, genuine care, and also understanding assumptions constructively. What about me? Well, what are my takeaways since October 2024? Well, I haven't reached to all 60 plus members yet, but as soon as I asked help, they generously showered me with their support and invested their time and energy for me, though different time zones. Let's bring some examples of it. Baron, I hope he's here. He tried to adjust his time to mine in order to explain to me the training of SAA role for the first time. And The reason was that I couldn't attend the Thursday meetings. I have my other commitments. Number 2, Jyoti. I hope she will be here. She accompanied me an extra miles, compassionately stand by my side and tried to tweak this speech. Hannah, she coached Buhari and me on Toastmaster of the Day role. Bintu, Evaluator, met and listened to me attentively. Also, she supported me compassionately. Last but not least, our master coach Brahm, who teach us and teach and train us critical thinking. We are supposed to add critical thinking into our speeches and evaluations. Last Tuesday, in a round-robin evaluation, he showered me with so many constructive feedbacks. Also, other members in that meeting gave me lots of feedback how to improve my speech. Thanks to all of them. So you see, Leadership Speak as an advanced club having meetings every Saturday with standards of high quality. You see all the things. There should be compassion there, empathy there, support there. Without them, it wouldn't be possible to stand here to talk to you now. What are some of the benefits of a compassionate leadership? Well, I choose just a few of them. The importance of compassion has been investigated by many prestigious and reputable research centers. For example, they believe that 75% of employees leave bosses and not their work. Another research in Seed Scientific revealed that those whose input was praised, recognized, encouraged are motivated 4 times more to be more productive. Another research, which is done through Facebook, believe that it was HR magazine in UK. Employees, 58% of employees believe that they will leave the job if the company bosses do not use empathy. Another research done by Harvard Business Review Workplace showed that the importance of leadership, compassionate leadership, which led to 25% job engagement, 20% organizational management move, and 11% burnout rate. There also has some challenges and issue with compassionate leadership, especially when management is going through some processes, just like tough decision making, addressing difficult issues with sensitivity, organizational goals, deadlines, and team unity. Fellow Toastmasters, we talk about compassionate leadership. It's not just about being kind, but creating an environment supportive and inclusive to help everyone grow. Also, we talk about some key criteria, just like active listening, emotional intelligence, open communication, and supportive action. By those things, it was possible to be more productive, or let's say have some benefits for the company through increasing job engagement, being productive, and also organizational commitments and lowering the burnout rate. What do you think about compassionate leader in action? Today, as you are leaving this room, reflect on your thoughts and see whether you add compassion into your life or not. How can you change the life of those there? How can you touch their hearts to make a difference? If you are not using compassion, what about being just like David, bring compassion into the workplace? That can create a real change. Here is a quote from iconic compassionate leadership, Nelson Mandela. We all know him. Continuous leading, curiosity, our human compassion binds us to one another, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the better future. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster, for that wonderful presentation. From the story you shared about Mary, David, story you shared about leadership speak, personal experiences, and what one thinks aim for being a companion. The ripple effect it has on people around us. That was a wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from our educational speaker. Next item, of course, on the agenda would be speech. And of course, some evaluations would have to follow. But before then, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear Toastmasters, you are live at Leadership Speak with the theme, the heart of leadership, passion, action. While we would have the next speaker, Toastmaster Lydiah, would be presenting the normal project coming after this exciting speech. Toastmaster Zahra, Toastmaster, would you like Toastmaster Lydiah? I would have to call our evaluator to give us the speech objectives before we delve into the speech. And that evaluator is Toastmaster Rana. Toastmaster Rana, over to you. Give us the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'm glad to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Lydiah Wanjiku. She will deliver a speech under Dynamic Leadership Pathway Level 3, Project Number 3, using presentation software in 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of the speech project is for the member to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance a speech. Toastmaster Lydiah requested me as her evaluator to focus more on the structure of her speech. All the best, Toastmaster Lydiah. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, the evaluator Toastmaster Rana. Master Lydiah would be speaking with the speech on the speech title, My Celebration. Master Lydiah, My Celebration? My Celebration, Toastmaster Lydiah. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me give you a short story. When growing up, we were 7 and my father had a book. At the end of the year, he had highlighted where each one of us excelled. And at the end of the year, we were taken out to go and celebrate. And during that celebration, that is the time he would come out with his book, take you through where you excelled. And that one, I found it to be very motivating. And that is why I picked that from my father. My celebration. What am I celebrating about? Reflections of my successes. What are those successes? Completion of my first path, presentation mastery. It was not a walk in the path, and I had to create time. I had to dedicate myself, and finally, I was able to complete my presentation mastery. And the reason why I found myself coming to Toastmasters, it's because I had a struggle when I was doing my presentation of my project for my master's. It was raining in Nairobi, but I found myself sweating. When I left that room, it had over 100 people. I told myself, Lydiah, I will never sweat again. I'm going to look for a place to be able to improve my public speaking, and hence the reason why it's my celebration for having completed the path. And finally, it led me towards the end of the year. The awards that you saw in my first slide, there are 2 awards I was nominated from the staff members who nominated me on Humanity Award and Agile HRBP. And this one, I got it because of the skills I got from Toastmasters, and which again I'm learning. And that is why I enrolled myself with Leadership Speak so that I can enhance my public speaking. Through that, I was able to do some trainings. I was able to engage staff members, and hence the award that I got at the end of the year. What are the benefits of celebration? There are several benefits. Motivation. You'll find in most organizations or companies at the end of the year, they normally come up with a retreat. That retreat is supposed to engage staff members so that staff members, they've been having a lot of work that they've been doing stressful. That is the time they're supposed to be happy and they feel appreciated, especially when you have compassionate leaders. And when it comes to stress, it reduces stress because there's several activities, happy activities. Those activities are very good to people, to staff members, even families, whereby you feel that you've been busy the whole year. Now you're reducing the stress level in your body. And finally, it contributes to your good well-being. Because scientifically, it has been proven that when you are happy, even your well-being is also improved. And that is why it said, your health, your wealth. When you're healthy, you're wealthy. And finally, it releases happiness. When you go to where people are celebrating, there is a lot of happiness. People are happy. Even if you had issues, you'll find yourself laughing. And finally, you end up being happy and you are rejuvenated to continue with your next part of life. In conclusion, identify your gains. It doesn't matter whether small or big. Once you identify those gains, then you're able to celebrate. And even at times, give yourself a pat on the back. Reflect on achievements. And at times you might find there are several challenges. Also, flip it and make it as an achievement, because you'll work towards overcoming that challenge, and finally, you will celebrate. Family success. In the family setup, as I gave you the story of my father, look at something that can be celebrated by the family. When you have that celebration together as a family, again, it brings a lot of happiness in the family. And that is why fellow Toastmasters, and especially our guests, that is why we are here, to be able to learn more and support one another. And there's a lot of support available. As they say, coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success. We are here to succeed. And then finally, we all celebrate. What is your celebration for 2025? Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Wow. Thank you so much to Toastmaster Lydiah for this wonderful speech titled My Celebration. What stood out for me? Of course, identify your gains, reflect on them, and celebrate family success. For when you do that, you would be compassionate, of course, since you're celebrating. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, we've come to the third speech of today, the educational speaker. The first speaker, Toastmaster Lydiah, has done the presentation. Next, we'll delve into the next speech of the day. Here on the agenda, the next speaker is supposed to be Toastmaster Nzinga, but unfortunately, something of utmost importance have made her to step down from today's presentation. And as compassionate leaders as we are at Leadership Speak, we have supported her care of that urgent one. While we take the third speaker, and so the sequence is going to change. The third will now become the second will become the fourth, will become the third, and the final fifth speaker will become the fifth speaker. Please take note. Yes. The next speaker is going to be Toastmaster Vinod Panicker. Please let's have him spotlighted, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Mariam. But before I call on the speaker, I would want to invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Mariam, to give us the speech objectives. Toastmaster Mariam,
thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. For my target speaker as the PAT presentation mastery level 1 project 2. The purpose of his speech the project is to fold the member to learn and review the basic method for the writing a speech with the defined purpose and present a well-organized speech on any topic. All the best for my target speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mariam, for that elaborative discussion on the speech objective of our speaker. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Vinod Panicker, take your chances. Take your chances, Toastmaster Vinod. Over to you.
How would you feel if someone you love tells you, meet me in the evening, we will go for a dinner? You will feel amazing, right? But when you go for the dinner, they just offer you a cup of tea. How would you feel now? Hold that feeling in your mind. That was the exact feeling I felt when I went to meet my father 22 years ago after my graduation. I told him, Dad, I want to do a master's degree. He looked straight into my eyes and said, No. I was taken aback. I actually thought, can a father tell to his son like this? That no, you can't study more? Is it legal in India? I was thinking. Then I asked, why? He said, you look there, you have a brother and a sister. I have to take care of their education also. You completed your bachelor's degree. Now you go work and complete your master's. I looked at my brother and sister, looked at my dad. I thought it would have been better if I was born in China, where there is one kid policy. But after that, I stepped back again and thought, how will I complete my master's degree? Father's advice, do a job. But I didn't want it to be someone who works from 9 to 5. At that time, I was working in a computer institute part time as a teacher while I was doing my graduation. I went to my mentor and the owner of the institute and I told him, this is what I want to do. He looked at me and said, I give you an offer. You take my institute and run it. 60% yours, 40% mine. You see, the owner of the institute was one of the biggest giant in hardware and software in our field. He started his business from that computer institute. So he didn't want it to close that. That institute was not doing very well. I thought about it for some time and I said, yes, I will take this chance and I will do this. And I grabbed that opportunity. I took that chance and I took over that institute. From hardly 4 or 5 students who were from vacation batch, I had to start from zero. But within 6 months, there were some 30, 40 students and the institute was doing very well. But the challenge was, whenever I met any of my friends or relatives, they used to look down on me. Because from where I come, a small town, working in institute is basically reserved for ladies. Men work in industries. And they used to tell me, why do you work in an institute? You should go and work in some big industries where there are, and we lived in the heart of industry of India, but there were so many industries. But I said, no, I'm very happy with what I am doing. Time passed. After a year, I had some issues with the owner and some other issues, which I will discuss some other day. I had to leave the country. And the best option was Dubai. When I landed in Dubai for my first job, my desire of doing my master's degree was still in my mind. I thought after my first salary, I will look for a good institute and join a master's degree. And that first salary of first month turned down to be 5 years. And after 5 years, I got married. And once I got married, marriage has its own challenges to understand people, and life started happening. After 3 years, I had a kid. And instead of thinking of what is marketing and what is operations management, I started putting diapers to my kids. I started taking my kid and giving him good burpees, and I became an expert in that. I got busy with my life, but there was something that was lacking in my life, and I didn't knew what was it until 10 years ago. One day when I got a call from my sister, and she said, Father is in hospital. I rushed back to India, and whatever the doctors were telling that you have to go for this, you have to go for that, I used to just pay and say, yes, do it, do it, do it. But we could not save him. And that was the time in life when I realized life, money can buy you treatment, money can never buy you life. And that incident shook me completely and changed my life. And from that day, I was more cautious and more intentional about what I wanted to do in life. When I came back after 1 or 2 years, life presented again with an opportunity to take a chance. And I remembered that conversation that I had with my father on that day, where he said, earn your own money and do your MBA. And I did that. And when I did that, again, friends and society was laughing at me. My in-laws, when they were here, they said, wow, what a good scene. Father, two kids, all of them taking their bag and going to school. And people were making fun of me. But I did that because I knew one thing, and I have learned this, that when life presents you with an opportunity, and there is an opportunity to take that chance, grab it. Even if you fail, you will be rich with experiences. And that has made me a more satisfied person in life. My friends, whatever the thing that you want in life, think about it for a moment. What is it? What is the dream? What is the desire? What is the thing that you wanted? Maybe the thing that you are looking for is looking for you. It is just waiting for you to take the chance. Take the chance because only you can take the chance for your life. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vinod, for being so considerate of sharing your personal stories with us, full of motivation, inspiration, and call to. I saw resilience, inspiration, I saw passion, and I saw commitment in your story. Dear guests, by now we have heard our third speaker for today's meeting. Are you still thinking about enrolling into our guest book or register? I guess not. Please let's post the guest book link into the chat for our guests, honorable guests, who would be part of signing up that guest book, that you would be able to keep in touch with us. That was an awesome speech. Of course, we have 2 more speeches to go before we delve into the other items on the agenda. The next speaker is going to be Toastmaster Rozy. Let's have her spotlighted. And of course, her evaluator, as we practice compassion at Leadership Speak, would be Toastmaster Deborah. Yes. So, Toastmaster Deborah, you have the floor. Kindly enlighten us on what the speech objectives are.
Of course, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. It is my pleasure to welcome Rozy to the virtual stage. She is working on level 2 of the dynamic leadership path. The project is understanding your communication style. She's going to share a communication style with the audience and its impact on her personal and professional life. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deborah. Before I invite our speaker, I would want to do the normal tradition, of course, of enlightening us about what her speech is for today. Heard from the evaluator, she would be speaking today on the speech title, Communication Kaleidoscope. Toastmaster Rozy, Rana, Communication Kaleidoscope, Communication Kaleidoscope, Toastmaster Rozy. Over to you.
New year, new beginnings. Fellow Toastmasters, fellow self-directed leaders and seekers of unlimited growth. What are your goals for 2025? At my workplace, Dormans, this year, 2025, marks a milestone. We will be celebrating our 75th anniversary. And I started to think, how can I make this monumental in every way? There is an African proverb which says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I knew it's all about my teams. I have a solid team, but I'm thinking, how can I strengthen the teams? Enter Belinda from Clarity 4D. As a facilitator, she says to me, Clarity 4D, as the name intimates, provides clarity on how team members can complement each other and creatively bring out the best in one another. Curious, I invited her to facilitate our teams. To begin with, Belinda did a personality assessment for each one of my teams. Thereafter, what she revealed was transformative and really mind-boggling. It opened my eyes to so much. She rolled on the floor a mat. It was really colorful and there were 4 distinct colors on it. She asked my team members to stand on the mat against their colors. As they did that, I looked and it was evident to me that on one of the colors, there was no one. There was someone on yellow, on green, on blue, but there was nobody on red. So I said to Belinda, does that mean something's missing in my organization? Do I need to recruit? And without batting an eyelid, she said, no, you, Rozy, fill that gap. I wasn't clear. And as she started revealing more, this is what came out. I will share with you, I'll dive in and share a few of my key personalities and their corresponding Clarity 4D colors for an understanding. So Ken, my sales manager, was a yellow, vibrant, full of energy, and really approachable. Ken is one of those who can sell ice to a polar bear, or perhaps better still, coffee to drinkers of tea and chocolate. No wonder I can count on him to rocket our sales. Elijah, my sustainability head, was a supportive, compassionate green, a very considerate leader. Not only considerate, Elijah is so careful, he would not let a mosquito be squashed. With Elijah at the helm of our sustainability, I'm assured that our products will always comply with the highest global standards, safety standards. Then there's Hannington, my finance head. With Hannington, he's a methodical blue, structured. In fact, Hannington's idea of a thrill on a Friday night is balancing spreadsheets. I can be assured of timely, accurate financials. So here's Belinda telling me that I need to be the red, me, a fiery red. My pathways assessment showed that I was considerate, I was supportive. I didn't imagine that. And then as Belinda went on, it hit me. As leaders, we have to fill the gaps. As leaders, we don't fit in fixed boxes. We have to be adaptable. We have to be contextual and make sure that we all fill the gaps. And this is where Clarity 4D's magic came in. We complement one another. For instance, Ken's optimistic attitude, going out there with selling and all, needs to be complemented by Hannington's blue to be structured and roll out actionable plans with his customers. Elijah's green, yes, empathetic, trusted, but he needs my red energy to make sure he makes timely decisions. Zahra alluded to that compassionate leaders may have challenges taking decisions timely and especially difficult ones. As for Hannington's methodical blue, well, he's now beginning to embrace that sometimes you have to be innovative, and he's embracing change. Fellow leaders, there were so many takeaways here, but what stood out is, yes, there is unity in strength, but not every team member needs to be the same. We are all different. We bring in unique contributions. What's important is that the leader can harness the teams, elevate their skills, and drive results. Collaboration is key. So not just here, what about you and your personal and professional goals? Who can you look to bring into your team? The yellow cheerleaders, the green supportive listeners, the blue to give you structure, and the red to help drive you. We here at Leadership Speak are so lucky. We have it all. Just to name a few, let me take Jyoti and Sandra as cheerleaders, yellows. Let me take blues to be Tony and Hannah, nice structured. Let's look at our reds. Oh my gosh, in fact, before I go to the red, I talked of the greens. Let me talk of the green. We have somebody like Kareen and Paramjit listening empathetically. And of course, Fury Red Bram, who drives us. I really look forward to us popping the champagne at the end of this Toastmasters year as collectively we emerge. Leadership emerges as the top club globally because together we all achieve more. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rozy. Together, we all achieve greatness. Dear guests, are you still second guessing, feeling that register, feeling that guest book enrolling? Well, Toastmaster Rozy had this to say: if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And here I extend the hand of collaboration. There, the guest book link. Thank you so much. As we go to the last but not the least speaker for this meeting, we have Toastmaster Paramjit. Let's have him spotlighted. Yeah, you just heard his name mentioned by Toastmaster Rozy about how listening is great. His evaluator, of course, is going to be Toastmaster Suresh. Suresh, can we have him spotlighted? You have the floor, sir. Kindly enlighten us with the speech objectives of our next. Toastmaster Suresh, are you here? Hello, Toastmaster Suresh. Oh, I hope you are okay with your technology. No, technology can be very, very funny these days. Master Suresh, are you with us?
Mr. Buhari, it is from level 1, project 2.
Okay. Okay.
Speak for the purpose. That's what
Okay.
the same as Master Vinod objective.
Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, may I have the honors of introducing the speech objectives of our next speaker. It is on presentation mastery pathway, level 1, speech 2. In this speech, he is expected to write a speech with purpose, deliver an effective, well-defined speech on a narrow or topic. This speech is not going to be a report. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have read the speech objectives of Toastmaster Paramjit, let me go ahead to read his introduction before we hand over the virtual lecture. He joined Toastmasters in 2020 and he is a member of Wings of Magic Toastmasters Club then, Rendezvous Toastmasters, and Leadership Speak Toastmasters Club, where he is a self-directed. Served as club president, vice president education, and vice president public relations. He works as a designer and development manager at MS Interplast Co Limited and is also a certified NLP trainer. Of course, you would also want to know that he is a growth mindset coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Paramjit with speech title, Home, My Home. Home, My Home. Toastmaster Paramjit.
Manjit, just pack everything and just go. Mom, where are we going? Don't argue with me. Just pack whatever you can pack and just leave. This was the conversation between my grandmother and my mother, Manjit, 11-year-old resident of Lahore, now in Pakistan, on a day when she had lost something unimaginable in her life. 15th August 1947, when everybody in India was celebrating the independence, the day marked for the unimaginable loss of her forever. The India was partitioned into two countries, India and Pakistan. Majority of Muslims staying in Pakistan and Hindus and Sikhs fleeing to India. As the lines were drawn, the riots erupted. The humanity which was defined Lahore was replaced by the violence, despair, and everybody was involved into the riots. So my mother hurriedly took some of her clothes as well as some books, and the family locked the door, unaware of the fact that they will never be able to open that door again in their lives. They boarded a jam-packed train, crammed with people, with a pin drop silence, but fear hung from everybody in the plane. Those also who had lost their lives or lost their families. As the train moves from station to station to go to India, every station was having its own tales of massacres as well as violence. But there was one hope that once we reach India, there will be a new life. Now, after reaching India, They were set up in a migrant camps along with other families who are also having loss and displacements. It was a very small space, and everybody was having a problem with the money as well as drinking water and having a food. Now it was again for the whole family to rebuild the family and the life. As the eldest daughter of the parents, she had not to only manage the work, study, as well as helping in the work outside. And she did her best to help the siblings to understand and bear the harsh realities of life. Despite all odds, she excelled in her studies, got a job, as well as she became one of the helping hand in that area. In time, she married my father, who also endured the same story from Lahore to India. And both of their together experience, made the foundation of our home, and which instilled in me and my family and my siblings the sense of courage, resilience. Everything was very fine. However, my mother's dream of going back to her childhood home was never faded. She always wanted to go to see her childhood home, breathe in the air, which was his sanctuary, waiting for her father outside the home, and wanted to touch the walls which have heard her laughter. However, this dream became a dream and left as a dream. And she could never enter Lahore because of problem with the visa as well as problem within Pakistan and India, political problems. However, an unexpected way, a glimpse of solace came to her. When one of my colleagues in UAE went to Pakistan, captured the videos of her childhood home and the streets where she played as a carefree child. Of course, the home was different, but she could find the essence. She couldn't find the echo of the laughter she has done over there and the love the family shared. Of course, she could never, ever went to Lahore back, but this made a sense of closure for her. A closure of something which she was seeing that she will never be able to visit again and has lost in her life. But this helped her to have a peaceful journey of life afterwards. So my dear friend, this is not a story of my wife, my life, my mother. This is the story of millions of people who left and endured the horror of partition. However, they were having an indomitable spirit. That is the spirit of never refusing to be crushed by the adversity. And it also teaches us that in any situation, in every situation, there is always a hope of light. A light which is fueled by courage, passion, and love. Let's keep that light alive. Over to you, Toastmaster.
So much. Thank you so much for this wonderful speech, Master Paramjit. Like you said, there are many in the world who also resonate and experience. Thank you for sharing a very wonderful call to action. Well, there you have it, dear guests, Toastmasters. And we've come to the end of this segment of our meeting today. Additional speaker, down to the final speaker of today, who is Toastmaster. As a guest, first timer, of course, if you are attending, we have a guest book in the chat box. And for the returning guests as well, when you fill in that book, that's when we would have the opportunity to keep collaborating with you and sending you this enticing and scintillating speeches that will help inspire and motivate you, better person, to be the better version of yourself wherever you are in the world. Become part of Leadership Speak from it. Thank you. The next item on the agenda, of course, is I would request the timer to post the timings that our speakers have spoken today. As we know, time is value, time is money, and we respect that at Leadership Speak. You need to be compassionate and in your leadership while you speak or what you need to be conscious. Timer, drop the timings in the chat box. And as we are also compassionate, self-directed leaders, we would be sharing a poll. Zoom Master, please get the polls ready to vote for the best effort of today's meeting. Dear guests, feel free to take part in the polls as we want to do that. I can see that the polls are up. So please, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, Toastmasters, do us the honor of voting best effort for today's meeting. First speaker, we had the educational speaker. You can see the names written on the polls. And while we do that, I would want to request that our general evaluator gets prepared for her to take over the next segment of the meeting. But before that, I would want the polls to be submitted. Zoom Master, are we having progress with the votes? Votes coming in?
Yes, sir. Just some seconds.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of the meeting, in case you are joining us now, is the heart of leadership, compassion in action. And there we go. The polls are gone. Thank you so much, dear guests, for sharing with us the honor of voting for the best for today's speeches. Zoom Master, can we highlight the general evaluator while I read her bio, introduction, before we hand over to her? Thank you. Let's spotlight the general evaluator, please. All right. Here is the ever smiling general evaluator. The general evaluator for today's meeting. Her journey into Toastmasters leadership and effective communication ignited when she first joined Toastmasters community. Dear guests, connecting with members from all corners of the globe has not only broadened her horizons, but has also pushed her to step outside her comfort zone. These experiences have deepened her understanding of diverse perspectives and her compassion in action, reinforcing the importance of connecting with audience on a meaningful level. With that, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and Toastmaster, I present to you the General Evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Hannah. Toastmaster Hannah, you have the floor. Over.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Toastmaster of the Day, for that introduction. Again, a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good evening, guests and visitors, and of course, my Toastmaster friends. I'm Rana, your General Evaluator, and I'll guide you through today's evaluation segment. I'm excited, I'm thrilled to lead a highly skilled and experienced team of evaluators ready to deliver their outstanding feedback to our talented speakers on their well-crafted speeches, and they were well-crafted. Eerders, he raised a well-appropriate toast for the theme of the day, and I call on his evaluator, Gerda. Over to you, Gerda. You're muted, yeah.
General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Eris. Today, you gave the toast for the meeting with the theme, compassion. You excelled at a strong opening. You had a very strong voice and a very strong stance. From the beginning, you started very strong. And I know I was ready to follow you and listen to what you were going to say. You had asked me to look for or pay attention to the toast flow, how you connect with the audience, your body language, your clarity, and also relevance to the theme of the meeting. The toast flow was fine. You excelled at that. I also felt that you connected with the audience in the sense that you, we were able to follow you. Body language, I felt that one part or one side of you was directing us. What you may want to work on is the relevance to the theme of the meeting. You spoke of passion, innovation, vision. Tie it back to compassion. Since you had the time, you could have incorporated a story, especially a story of many members of our club that you had the opportunity to connect with. I would also like to challenge you to finish strong, because in the end, very quickly, you said something and then you went, cheers. It's important to direct us in raising our glass and toast to so that we can follow you. In summary, you had a very strong opening, strong voice, strong sense. You may want to work on the relevance to the theme and also a strong ending. What made it the best for me is that you knew very clearly what you were talking about. And for that, I think from the beginning until the end, you were strong in that. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Yeah, wow, indeed, a message that was clear and to the point, as you mentioned. You mentioned his strong points and, of course, his recommendations. I think you should give us a lesson on evaluations. Give us a class on evaluation. Besides that, our ever-smiling Toastmaster of the Day. Wow, what a smiley head. Will be evaluated by Daniel. Over to you, Daniel, for your evaluation of our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hannah Schmidt, and thank you, Buhari. If someone came in with a bad day today, well, you have changed the mood, and we were all enjoying your presence and enjoying how you ran this meeting. Well done with that. You did it well. Your preparation before, I saw how you got people into the group early, connected with everybody to check that you got the feedback that you required. And this was good for an online meeting, preparation for an online meeting, which is what the project you're working on. Our new frontier is the Zoom space. So how we appear and how we run a meeting is important, and you have done that pretty well, guiding us well, having the theme well explained, fantastic. You did a theme explanation, great. The smile was warmth. There was so much warmth in that, and how you introduced all the speakers with the warmth there. Your pacing was good for all of us of different cultures. So you took note that there are many people of different nationalities or different cultures. So a slow pace helped us to connect with you. And then also explaining how the meeting ran, brilliantly done. That was all nicely done. Your Zoom presence was great. And your gestures, once in a while was good. What you might think of working on is, I saw you, reading so much, bending down to read some of your notes, and that loses your connection with the audience. Probably put it in a place where you can read, so behind the computer, so you can always you're facing the audience all the time, so you can feel the connections. And also constantly reminding the Zoom master to put in the chat, the guest book. You once again always were connected with the guests. Welcome, be a part of our family. Warmth was there. You could also think about, instead of us saying Zoom master, but say our next speaker, because we've all practiced this. Our next speaker is, and then you just give the Zoom master time to do that. But all in all, great guidings of the meetings. The warmth was nice, and I enjoyed the warmth of it, your explanation. Fitting in when things have not gone right a little bit, when the last speakers, the evaluator was not there. You didn't panic, you took it in your stride, and kept us enjoying it. Well done, Buhari. I look forward to seeing you do more projects online. Thank you, and back to you, Hannah Schmidt.
Thank you very much, Evaluator Dan. My apologies, but you'll have to speak a little bit louder because the rain here, the welcome rain, overshadows your voice here at the moment. So do speak a little bit louder, please. Thank you very much. And evaluation, I don't think you would say, I think you should do. That's your thought. Give him the full evaluation that he should do, not I think. Leave that out. Thank you very much. Now we come to the speeches. And the speech, The Heart of Leadership, Compassion in Action, presented by Zahra, our educational speaker, will now be evaluated by Bindu. Over to you, Bindu.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Hello, my dear Toastmasters. Congratulations, Zahra, for delivering a very effective, excellent speech. How come? First and foremost, you introduced your topic with a quote, none other than Dalai Lama. What an apt person to say about compassion. Wow. The content, you had an excellent, compelling content. Your personal story, your own friend Mary's endeavor with David. She had a transformative journey, and how the transformative journey literally uplifted your company as well. Wow, great job. Your physical gestures, your voice intonation were in sync with what you wanted to tell, especially Mary's sad moods and when she was uplifted with compassion from David. It was really wonderful. You had an excellent presentation skill in the form of PowerPoint presentation. It was just pictorial. Your Zoom presence was really awesome. You concluded with saying that how can you touch your other people's heart and make a difference? Every speech can become better speech. And how can you? What I found out was that when you were telling about the statistics, especially the benefits of Toastmaster and compassionate leadership, you data, you have to quote, you can quote, yeah, Harvard Business Review, wonderful quote. But the other quotes, research sources like Facebook, is not an authentic one. Second, that finally, when you were giving the conclusion, you concluded with a remark or quote by Nelson Mandela. And you were looking down. I am going to challenge your speech. Why can't you take it as a challenge and tell that the final concluding takeaway message, what was it? Your message was, how can you touch others' hearts with a difference? Wow, you can deliver it by looking at the audience. That itself is a final takeaway. You need not have to quote Nelson Mandela's by looking down on your book. To summarize, an effective speech, bringing in a good introduction, compelling content with your wonderful Zoom presentation skills, voice intonations, and the physical gestures. If you could incorporate that, the research source, an authentic one, and giving away that final message by looking at the audience, what a wonderful speech would be. All the best for your next speech. Over to you, Hannah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bindu. Your evaluation was also full of compassion in action, just like Zahra's speech, full of it. Thank you very much. And you also gave her the yeses, what she should do and what she shouldn't do, and that with a conclusion. Body, opening, body, and a conclusion. That you did very well. Now we come to our speakers. And Lydia is celebrating my celebrations. That will be evaluated by Renan. Over to you, Renan.
Thank you, the General Evaluator, Hannah. Hi, Lydia. First of all, congratulations for that wonderful speech that you delivered. It's about celebration, your celebration. I'm going to evaluate your speech based on good, better, best format. First, what did you do well, or what good about your speech? You were able to share a slide with animation that caught the attention of your audience. You caught my attention. You were able to demonstrate the purpose of your celebration, or what is your celebrating. It is for the completion of your presentation mastery pathway. The structure of your speech was well constructed. You opened it with what your celebration is, then you shared the benefits of that celebration. And I am thinking now that every success must be celebrated. And then at the end, you were able to draw the attention of your audience. Then better what could it improve more on? To connect more
He seems to have fallen by the wayside. We'll give him a chance that when he comes back. Lydia, he has not finished your evaluation. He'll come back. Okay, let's go on so long. And now we come to, what a pity we didn't hear Nzinga's speech. What a pity. But there's always a next time. And Vinod, what a fascinating speech with tit for tat tat, which was full of challenges. That will be evaluated by Miriam. Over to you, Miriam. You're muted. Miriam, you're muted.
You can hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Hannah. Actually, regarding for my target speaker, actually, Vinod, we know already he's in the stage amazing. How we engage with the audience, how he will take us step by step by the story and give to us in the end the best takeaway. Amazing, wonderful speech when start asking question. He make the engage with the audience. Again, the same time, he asked the second question about what you feel when you first you love someone and invited you for the dinner. Then he asked extra way, what you feel when you the same person invited for you instead for the dinner for the cup of the tea. And really something so amazing. And the relative to this the question, he engaged with the father, which really nice. Opening, amazing opening, engaging. Structure, amazing structure. He mentioned the structure of his life in the body of his speech, and they make us thinking how we need to take the chance if they find in their life and as the opportunity and don't miss. If there's some struggling, something happening like a stone during in their life, and how we need with the timing again. If you have something in the mind, we need to think about and reach the goals. He facing so many issues during the reach his the MBD master of the master, which is considered to take the master. Amazing, which already we can see the conclusion. Even he give to us very amazing conclusion about his speech, because he take us at the action and the takeaway, and they make us think about your dream, and they don't lose any chance, which already is as the leader speak. We need to give the best takeaway for the speech, not just the delivery, the speech. When he started the speech, only two recommendations which I feel about the Vinod. When he asked the first question, must give to us the pause for the audience to respond, or they ask them write for me in the chat box, or they give the silent for the second, because the second question will be so strong, because dinner instead to the cup of the tea. This is amazing, like what happened, who's this the person, this the one. The second things I prefer, he changed the voice when he asked the father, I want to continue take my master. We need to change the voice and they take the position. And the father say, no, I cannot give to this the chance at the now, because still I have two brother and the sister. They want to continue. This the more engaging. Overall, he's the amazing speaker. I love to always to listen here, and all the best for the Vinod, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Miriam. It is a bit difficult to evaluate such an eloquent speaker as Vinod, but yet you did find some points that he could improve on, some points that he did good, and you gave him some recommendations. Thank you very much. It is difficult, but you did a very well job. Good for you. Rozy. Oh, the communication kaleidoscope. What a colorful combination you had there. That will be evaluated by Deborah. Over to you, Deborah.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Rozy, two things I absolutely love about you. Your stage presence. You have a fantastic stage presence. Your smile lights up the screen. And it was that way the entire way through, from the beginning to the end. The second thing that I really loved about your presentation, the humor was fantastic. And it came naturally. It wasn't added in, it wasn't forced, but the lines such as not wanting to harm a mosquito, balancing spreadsheets, those made me laugh. Very, very good. Love your stage presence, love the humor. Something that you can work on for the future, and there's two of those as well, is at the beginning, before you get into mentioning the colors of blue, green, yellow, and red, maybe insert one sentence in there explaining what the colors exercise was for. For example, you could easily say that the colors exercise was a model to help me and my team understand personality traits and characteristics. That would have helped a little bit by way of introduction as to what the exercise was intended for. And the second thing, and this is something you may or may not be able to do something about, I love that you used a real stage and not a virtual background. However, the wall was so close behind you that you weren't able to use the depth of the stage, and it put you so close in front of the camera, which gave us a great view of you, but you weren't able to utilize the width either, because with one stretch of your arms, you were touching each end of the screen. Again, may not be something that depending on where your laptop is located, you can do anything about. It looked great on the screen. It just kept you front and center. And something for you to challenge yourself on. This project was supposed to be about you, your personality, your traits and characteristics. You tied it back to pathways very briefly, but in your speech, you had 3 levels. You spoke a little bit about yourself, you spoke of some of the people on your team, and then you also spoke about some of the members in leadership speak. This presentation was supposed to be about you. I would have loved to have heard more from you about your journey with this exercise. What did you discover? Were there any aha moments? Were there some surprises? Were there moments where you thought, I don't really see that in me? And other moments where you thought, oh, absolutely, this is me 100%. So to recap, fantastic stage presence. The humor came through very naturally. 2 things to work on, minor changes for future, just make sure you fully introduce your topic at the beginning so the audience is aware. And if you're able to adjust the technology on your end, so you have a bit more depth and depth and width of the stage, that would be great. And really, the root of it all is, we want to know about you. What was your journey of self-discovery, those aha moments, perhaps the surprises? Overall, very well presented, and I will send this to you right away via email. Well done on your project, Rozy.
Thank you very much, Deb. There's another evaluator where we can learn so much from. And she explained everything so nicely or so well about Rosy's stage present. Your stage present was also very good. You were standing. That is, I think, a requirement of all our functionaries, that we should stand and present our evaluations or our speeches or whatever we do. I think that we should introduce that also. Thank you very much, Deborah. Lydiah, just one other recommendation. Rana will send you, or ask him to send you his evaluation, because he had some, 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 he had difficulties with his laptop. So ask him, but then he will definitely send you his evaluation also.
Is it
Paramjit,
possible?
are
Sorry,
you
is it
there?
possible to continue or
Oh, sorry.
over
Oh, there you are. Okay, go ahead. Finish this evaluation.
Should
Go
I
ahead.
start over again or
No, go
start
ahead from where you
over?
stopped. From where you stopped.
Okay, from what I started. Okay. First of all, congratulations, Toastmaster Lydia, for your wonderful speech. I am going to evaluate your speech using good, better, best format. First, good. What did you do well on your speech? You were able to share a slide with animation that really caught the attention of your audience. And you're able to demonstrate as well the purpose of what you're celebrating is. It is for the completion of your presentation mastery pathway. Then the structure of your speech was well constructed. You open it with what your celebration is. Then you share the benefits of the celebration. Wherein I thinking now that success must be celebrated. And then you draw the attention at the end of your speech. You draw the attention of your audience. Better, what could it improve on? Connect more with the audience, even presenting slides. You may want to consider asking questions to connect with the audience, because sometimes presenting slides, speaker and audience connections may tend to lose, especially the eye contact. Wherein in this kind of online meeting, the best way to connect with the audience is looking at the lens of your camera.
So they asked the FD
To fully connect with your audience, ask questions and let audience response for a while. So with this, you would get full attention of your audience while presenting slide. Then best, what could you make to make this speech into the next level? You were able to draw attention at the end of your speech. You may want to add a concise, inspirational call to action about celebration by connecting it to your personal milestone or resilience or gratitude to make it more relatable with the audience, like incorporating vivid storytelling to draw more an inspiring call to action, like let this celebration be a reminder that every step forward, no matter how small or is worth honoring. All in all, congratulations, Toastmaster Lydia. You're able to meet the requirement for your speech project. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Vinod. Wow, what technology can do. You fall off the grid and all of a sudden you're there again. Thanks for recapturing Lydia's speech again. And I'm sure Lydia will celebrate with the evaluation that you have given her. Thank you very much. Now our last speaker, Paramjit, is now presenting from the presentation mastery, and his speech titled Home, My Home is still full of humor. And he will be evaluated now by, I see Suresh is out of the house. Vinod, have you volunteered?
Yes, Hannah.
Thank you very much, Vinod.
Thank you. Toastmaster Paramjit, your speech, Home My Home, I felt I was watching a movie from Lahore to India. And that movie had amazing scenes. It had all the elements that a story needs: characters, conflict, resolution. So I really liked the take that you had on your speech, because this it needs. We have never seen you speaking on topics like this. It was very courageous from your side to take a topic and speak about it. The second thing that I absolutely loved about your speech was the events were arranged in chronological order. So it was easy to follow for the audience. So we knew from where it started, where it went, what happened in between, and you took us through the entire story amazingly. And you also made us feel nostalgic when we go. Most of us are expatriates, or at least I am. So when I go back to my house, I feel that nostalgia, like, okay, I have been not living here since long. Imagining the nostalgia that you might feel of a complete different country, it was tremendous, amazing. So I really liked the way you had arranged the speech, the opening that you had with the conversation, the mom and grandmother, and then the conclusion about what I felt can be improved in the speech is the train that was running from Lahore to India could have been a little slow. You could have paused, because there were a lot of very heavy things that you were speaking, and we were not, as I was not able to absorb that. When you mentioned about the immigration camp, there was no food, there was no money, and then you picked off from there. I wanted to be there in that surrounding, and I wanted to feel how it would have felt at that particular time. Then the second thing is the Zoom presence. I personally would request, when speakers are speaking, please have a plain background instead of our leadership speak. We all love that 29 countries and absolutely adore it. But at least when we are speaking, make sure there is a plain background, so that the focus only goes on our body, word, gesture, and voice. The third thing that I would like to speak about is the value to the audience. Now, you mentioned about two things that journey taught you: courage and resilience. How have you used that courage and resilience in your day-to-day activities? I would have loved to hear that, so that you can tell the audience also that there are many people who have not gone through all those things. So for us, when we hear that, we will be like, yes, if it can happen to him and he is still courageous and resilient, we can be. So that message or takeaway was not there, but I loved absolutely, to summarize, I love the way you narrated the entire story with the train going little bit slow and putting something call to action for the audience to take. I believe this story has got amazing potential and a lot of hope of light. Thank you. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Vinod, first of all, thank you very much for jumping in at the last minute as an evaluator, which you did very well. You gave him all the points which you can improve on, what he did well, and the slow train, put a bit of fire into it, and then it'll go on also. Thank you very much, Vinod, for jumping in at the last minute. Our Zoom master, please launch the poll for the best evaluator, and I'm sure you have a difficult choice to make today. Let's see who is the winner of our evaluations. And while we do that, let us ask Gilda, our accomplished and experienced timer, to enter the times for the evaluators as well. She's done it very beautifully for the speakers. And let's do it now for the evaluators as well. Please, Gilda. Wow, super. And I see all of them have been on time. Good. 3:29. Vinod, you just made it. Okay, while we're still waiting for the poll to go on, let us have a word from our grammarian. Our ever so knowledgeable grammarian, Nokawe. I'm sure she has paid good attention and will now present her report and the correct and outstanding uses of the English language, along with the word of the day. Now be considerate and let us hear your report, Nokawe.
Madam General Evaluator, the English language has been used outstandingly today. I'll just quote few of the quotes that I enjoyed or I liked. The first one was love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. And the second one, it was if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. And the third one by Nelson Mandela is that our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. In terms of the use of the language or of the word of the day, it has been used 5 times, mainly by the Toastmaster of the day. And in terms of the lines or thoughts that I have enjoyed, is the first one is despite all odds, she excelled. The second one, well advanced to the theme of the day. I will just mention 4. And the third one would be, she accompanied me an extra mile. And the fourth one would be, reflect on your thoughts. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Oh, I'm sorry. And the improper grammatical use that I picked up. I have picked up 4. The first one was that how you are responding, you are responding me. In the suggested sentence will be, how are you going to respond to me? The second one was how he approached to her problem. What I would suggest is that how he approached her problem. The third one is look in something that can be celebrated. I would suggest that we say focus on something that can be celebrated or look for something worth celebrating. And the fourth one is something was lacking in my life and I didn't know what it is. My suggestion would be something was lacking in my life and I didn't know what it was. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Wow, give her a big hand. That was a perfect evaluation or report on the use of the, and especially we always hear the good things, but I see Nokawa has also picked up the things that need a bit of tweaking to have a better explanation, to have a better meaning. Thank you very much. And I see Leah has posted the guest book again. Please fill that in. Somebody from the executive will definitely reach out to you and find out how you went, how you had the meeting, whether you like it, etc. Thank you very much, Leah, and also. Before we go on, we have our trainer. And Brown will now be at the helm and give us his view about, I think it's about critical thinking evaluation. Over to you, Brown.
Thank you very much. And the reason why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, is to point out the direction that this club goes. Thank you, Rozy, for pointing out that I'm a red. I didn't even know I'm a red. But what really drives me is not the colors. What drives me is what's the club mission, our vision, what's our mandate? And is everything in accordance with our mandate? Are we acting in accordance with that? and our compassion and empathy is tempered by our vision. And so this is what you see in the club overall, in the big picture. When members here are speaking, we want them to speak powerfully, with confidence, with conviction, with credibility, so that when they go out in the world, they really stand out as leaders. Without titles or with titles, doesn't really matter. And so this is what we want our members to achieve, and they are on a journey in achieving that. So now let's look at the meeting and what people said and who said what, and could we improve on those that may not have been picked up, or where it was picked up, and is it in accordance with our training that we've been doing, and so on. For example, Vinod did pick up very well on Paramjit's presentation, and it was a very profound presentation. If you know the history of India and Pakistan, millions of people died during the partition, and it was a very profound presentation. So, and Vinod did say, that one of the things is, what did the leadership speak or the audience here get out of it? And we didn't go through those sort of events. How can we use this? Very well pointed out. The lessons of how could we use lessons of the closure, the courage, perseverance and resilience and so on. So that was very well done in that evaluation. And so Paramjit actually needed to fill in a little bit more for what's in it for the audience. It's always about the audience. That is what our speakers are training to do, is speak to the audience at the end and address the audience, because every presentation is really about the audience. It is not about yourself. It's not about just telling your story and getting off the stage, but what is it for the audience? Because we are an advanced club, we need to understand that part. Because in a community club, yes, you need to practice all the different skills of speaking, but here now you try to hone in on what is that effect of my presentation to the audience and what will they take out, and therefore how will I stand out in the real world, right? Now, for example, also there are things that we should avoid saying, and our GA has a crutch word. For example, she said Gerda, wow. And you may have just heard she said Nokawe, wow. Those are crutch words. We don't want to hear wow as when you start to speak, when you're evaluating, whether as a G or as an evaluator, or oh, that was excellent, that was amazing. That's how we start that in our community clubs. That's what we tend to do. But here now we need to become more aware of our thought processes and what we really want to say that is powerful, and push the speaker forward faster. Again, the DG asked Dan to speak louder because it was raining around where she was. I mean, the speakers don't know, but what's happening. You're in control of your environment. You can't tell the speaker to speak louder or slower. You use your volume to adjust. So avoid those things that are very spontaneous, just come out, you are responsible, right? Would you agree?
I know. Thank you.
And then again, when Vinod finished speaking, you said, what a fascinating presentation, right? And then when the speaker Paramjit came on, he said, now our last speak, haha. No, don't do that. So those are very many crutch words for the GE, because you are supposed to be overall aware of everything, because I as a trainer won't be here. You are the trainer really training the whole club, right? As a GE. For Deborah, very well done. You won the evaluator as usual. Very well done evaluation. Except one of those things, I loved. Now we are actually asking evaluators not to use words like I loved or you excel, you were amazing or wow and awesome. Try and use a little bit different languaging. And we know it's still your opinion. Sure, it's your opinion, but we are an advanced club. And so it's up to the speaker to take what they want to and leave what they don't want to see. But when you say, I loved your background, etc., instead of saying how your use of background was excellent, depth of stage, whatever, So try and use that and see what sort of difference it makes in your power of speaking and in the speaker's power of listening and taking what they really want and what they can discard. So those are the sort of things. As for Rozy, I think I love that red thing, and you took on the red, but I don't know if I missed this or you did say that, Rozy, was how did that improve your organization and the bottom line? See, that's my critical thinking. When you took on that red space, did it affect the bottom line? And how did it affect the bottom line? In the end, it all is business. I didn't know Dormans was 75 years old. There's just a sideline note. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We constantly want to improve and speak powerfully with confidence, conviction, and credibility. So the guests, if you like what you've been hearing in this club, please put your name in the guest book and we will address you. And Leah is here, our VP of membership is here. Me and Leah will today address all the guests. With that, back to you, Hannah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for pointing out all these critical thinking words that we as well, not everybody's got English as a home language, but we will improve. We shall improve. Thank you very much. And for our guests, please don't leave before the meeting is adjourned because as President Bram said, he will address us. He will speak to us. Now for my general evaluation for what I have observed. Thank you again for all the competent role players. You definitely have contributed to the success of our meeting. And here I make special mention of our greeter. Hey, we've got 2 Nicoles in our club. And now I speak to Nicole White, the greeter. Is she still here? Congratulations. Well done on greeting everybody and welcoming the members and guests with that friendly smile of yours. It is that electrifying first contact, first spark, that powerful connections, creating the unforgettable first impression that grabs the audience's attention and keeps them hooked to listen to the speeches and the evaluations and to stay tuned in. Our second Nicole Miller-Douglas, as our Sergeant at Arms, she started the meeting on time, reading the disclaimer, and then requesting the recording to start. Very well done. And then reading the mission statements. Our Zoom master, usually, thank you very much for finding the speakers, the evaluators, the role players so quickly and spotlighting them. Therefore, I think it's important that we all mark ourselves according to the agenda that you can spot us quickly. Our timer, Gilda, wow, your timing was exact. Thank you very much, and especially for sharing the results in the chat box, one by one. Very well done. Thank you. Our meeting started on time and was meticulously steered by our ever-smiling Toastmaster, Buhari. Thank you very much, and to all the speakers and evaluators. Ladies and gentlemen, today we witnessed an incredible partnership between the speaker and the evaluators, creating a dynamic and impactful experience. A big thank you to our evaluators for their insightful and constructive feedback, for the speakers to rise to the next level. Actually, this concludes now my segment, but before I hand over control to the Toastmaster, let me thank him again for encouraging the visitors to sign the guest book, and I hope lots of you signed the guest book. Buhari, you made the smile of the day. Thank you very much. And now I hand back to you, to our Toastmaster of the day, Buhari. Over to you.
Thank you so much, the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Hannah. It says it all from the evaluations. You don't need to say anything. It speaks for itself. The next item on the agenda is, of course, of the day. And the thought of the day is going to be delivered by Toastmaster Angela Brown. Over to you, Toastmaster Angela Brown.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bahar. Today's meeting, we learned a lot about compassionate leadership, about using empathy, compassion when we're dealing with others in the workplace and even at home with our families. Simon Sinek said, the leadership is not about taking charge. Leadership is about taking charge of those who are in your charge. So we need to take care of those who are in our charge. This reflects the importance of compassion and putting others first in leadership, because this is the heart of leadership. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Angela Brown, for that thought-provoking. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, we've come to the moment where we celebrate the best what speakers and the best evaluator. Remember, he was or is still is the heart, compassion. And as compassionate leaders, self-directed leaders that we are, we celebrate it. As such, I would be inviting the Zoom master to please share the award certificates for the best effort speaker and followed by the best evaluator. It's coming up. And Toastmasters and guests, for the best effort speaker today, we have Toastmaster Vinod Panicker. And for the best evaluator, we have Toastmaster Deborah Walker. Congratulations to all the speakers and all the evaluators. And congratulations, Pro Max, to the best effort speaker and the best evaluator. We are very excited and happy to celebrate with all our members today. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very smooth, considerate, and compassionate run from the beginning of the meeting down to this moment that we, the best effort speaker and the evaluator. On a final note about the theme of today's meeting, before I hand over to the president of the club, Graham, to have a discussion with our guests because we value you. My final thoughts is that you have it all. Compassion is inbuilt, just like you have a heart in your need to train that muscle to bring out the compassion in you. We rise by helping others, and it's only through compassion we help. You have it all. You have all it takes. Leaders, let's give people what they need. Do they need care? Care for them. Do they need empathy? Empathize with them. Do they need love? Love them. Do they need guidance? Guide them. If you want to really read, I want to really reiterate finally a quote. Components, 4 components. 1, trust, active leadership, empathy, and finally, taking action. Go out there with this component. Be the compassionate leader that the community wants and desires. And remember, on this note, I would hand over to the president, Raham, to go with the further proceedings. Over to you, Toastmaster Brown.
Madam Zoom Master, if you can spotlight Leah Musunga, who is the Vice President of Membership. Hey, Leah, how are you?
Good morning. I'm all right.
Well, you've seen the guest book, right? We've had quite some some activity there, guests signing in and all that.
Yes, indeed.
And you've communicated with a few, I believe.
Yeah. Most of them
So,
I have already communicated.
Great. So who shall we speak to today that hasn't signed in the guest book and that's still here? How about Eva Small? I don't know if she's here. Yeah, she's here. Eva Sol, sorry. Eva Sol from France. Eva, are you there? Well, while she's
Yes, I am. Sorry.
a video so we can spotlight you.
I'm here. Hi. Yes. Thank you for introducing me. Well,
Are you able to open yourself? Oh, yeah, there you are. I can see that. Okay, let's spotlight you. Oops,
okay.
Sorry. Madam Zuma, sorry. All right, so there you go. Yeah, tell us where you're from and what brought you here. I know you told me that beforehand, but our audience hasn't heard. And over to you, Leah.
Okay. So I am Awa Sal. I live in France and I'm originally from Senegal. So I've been a Toastmasters member for a year, like 1 or 2 years before. I was referred to this club by Karine, who is a member of your club and also a member of Toastmasters La Défense, where I visited that I visited like a week ago or something. I am very impressed by the level of this club and I really appreciate your way of putting forward leadership and critical thinking and so on in your speeches and the way you conduct your meeting. I don't know if I am an advanced Toastmasters enough to integrate your club, but it was very informational and I really appreciated it. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much again for joining us. To join the club, you just have to have completed 3 levels in any pathway. So you did indicate that you have been a Toastmaster before.
Yeah, but I'm not 3 level yet. I've been a Toastmaster for a year. So not 3 levels yet, but I might come back and become a member and surely come back to be a guest and listen to you guys talk. And when I'm ready,
yeah,
maybe I can join.
Definitely joining and just observing and and being a part of the meeting is for free. So please come back.
And you know, Leah, new members do get a bit new guests who come here the first time do get intimidated a little bit because of the level of excellence they see here. But everyone here is at a different level of learning. There are some members who just joined, they're at the same place where you are at Awa, but they say, I want to learn this, and so they join. So when you are ready, by all means, don't get intimidated. We actually teach you step by step. We have coaching sessions, mentoring sessions during the week. Not during this meeting, but outside of this meeting, we have a lot of mentoring and coaching going on to sort of make you feel comfortable along the way. Yes, Leah, is that right?
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Thank you.
And Leah, you came to practice your speech last on the coaching day, right? As well.
Yeah. So there's lots of opportunity for the nerves to dissipate.
I see. I really appreciate the
welcome
your effort, and I really enjoy like the fact the way you are welcoming and showing the way for me, for example, to improve. And thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement.
All the best, Ella.
Thank you.
All the best.
Let's see now. I think most of our guests have gone. I know let's call on Paul Mahoney from Ireland. And let's see what he has to say. He visits us once in a little blue moon. So there is a blue moon, by the way, Leah. Did you see that?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invitation to say something. Once again, when I visit this club, I find a very high standard, and I think I've always come away from a meeting in this club with an example of how to do something well. Standard of excellence. I found that here today, and it's also very satisfying to come to a club which has people from so many different cultures as members, because that is something that matters a lot to me. So thank you very much. I wish I had been here from the start, but in the short time I was here, I saw some excellence in action. Thank you.
You know, Leah, we don't have any leprechauns or pots of gold, you know. We would love an Irishman come and join the club.
Well,
yeah.
Extend an invitation the other way in the meanwhile, if you like, because my own home club is Blarney Toastmasters. That's a good word for Blarney Toastmasters, and we have our 50th anniversary celebration on Tuesday.
Wow.
At what would actually
that's a stalwart club.
2:30 New York time. And if any of you would like to come, I would be delighted to welcome you. It'll be a very, very big meeting.
Put the invitation in the chat for us.
Well, happily we'll do that straight away.
And Paul, thank you for visiting.
Yes, thank you.
Leah, one day you got to twist this man's arm to join, all right?
Definitely.
Paul,
we'll start working on it.
all right. And with that,
we have Gada is still here as a guest. Sorry, I just want to show.
Oh yeah, and I see her video is on.
So yeah, Gada al-Mojarkish. If you can spotlight Gada, that'd be
Hello,
great.
everyone. Yeah, my name is Rana. Thank you, Braham, for inviting me today. And I believe that I know some Toastmaster members here. I have been a Toastmaster for 6 months. Then I had to leave like 2 years ago because I have a full-time job. Now I resigned and decided to come back to Toastmaster. And I chose this Toastmaster because I would like to be a leader. I'm already, maybe I am somehow a leader, but my aim is to develop these skills to be also fluent speakers, and hopefully we'll learn with you all, guys. Thank you so much.
Leah.
Oh wow. Because I've seen you have actually filled in the guest book, and I think I did send you a message. So is that an indication that you're ready to join?
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Well, actually, she's put in an application already, as you know, and the executive has already approved her application to join. And I also have the membership application form. So within a couple of days, she'll make a payment, and February the 1st, officially next week, she'll be a member. And I've known Gada for a number of years. I first met her when she was trying to explore Toastmaster, not even a Toastmaster. And then I introduced her to a couple of other clubs. There's a few years back, before leadership was there. And then so she joined MySpeak, so she knows how we operate in MySpeak. And then she's left and she's here. So yeah. And Gada, you used to have a podcast, right? Before. I don't know if you do still have that.
Yes. It's translated in English. I have like an Instagram channel. Most of the videos are translated in English. So hopefully I'll present English videos with your support and help, Braham.
Wonderful. What country are you from originally?
From Syria. I'm from Syria. I live in Canada.
Yeah, you live in Canada. I know you live in Oakville, right?
Yes, yes.
I remember that. See, I never forget.
Yeah. I remember the
All
first.
right, Radha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, bro.
Looking forward to your speeches.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, unless Leah, do you see anybody else? I think we are done here. Over to you,
Yes,
Leah, please. Over to you. All yours.
yes, I don't see anybody else in the chat who is a guest. Otherwise, thank you so much to all our guests and also for coming to the virtual screen and just having a little chat with us. Whether you are ready to join or you're still just coming to view our meetings, thank you so much for coming and invite other people to join us. Very soon we'll also be celebrating our 3rd anniversary. I know someone said 50 years, but yeah, please invite people to come and join us as we celebrate our 3rd anniversary just around the corner. With that, should I hand back to our Toastmaster of the day, or
Yes.
is it the president? All right, so back to you, Buhari.
Thank you so much, the President and Vice President membership of our Compassionate Club Leadership Speak. It has been my pleasure and honor to have served as the Toastmaster for the meeting. And the last item on the agenda for me to write on is the adjournment. Powers vested in me. I call this meeting to an end on 1st February 2025. Zoom Master, please stop the recording. Thank you.
Thank you.